I'm traveling to every South American country competing in the FIFA World Cup. I'm going there to experience football through the eyes of the locals and ultimately figure out which country has the most passionate fans. Like the previous episodes, I'm rating them on pre-match build-up, match day atmosphere, passion and emotion, and cultural pride.
And that's why I've arrived at Buenos Aires, where I'm going to be doing all things Argentinian. Now, I don't really know the Argentinian word in Spanish for to be Argentinian. Paraguayos, Uruguayos, I don't know, I have to think about that one. But we're going to be going around, trying the different foods, and then later we're going to go watch the game. We're going to go around trying to do all things Argentinian. Hopefully we can meet some new people, ask them what their thoughts are on football in this country, all that stuff, the same as the last couple of episodes. And then we're going to go to the Fan Fest later tonight to see all of the passion on display. Stay tuned because I think this is going to be a pretty crazy episode. And hopefully the first episode in the series where the team I'm watching is actually going to win the game. I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty disappointing so far. Anyway, vamos. Alright, so I'm on my way to Caminito, which is a little kind of vibrant, well-painted kind of bit of the city. It's a bit of a tourist spot, but may as well go there, check it out. I'd love to see how things are looking down there at the moment. See if there's a bunch of Argentinian flags about, people on the street kind of preparing for tonight's game. A little bit of a walk from here, about 20 minutes, but can't check into my place yet, so may as well go do it. All right, so I'm on my way to the, the pretty street and all that. And then suddenly all the buildings, the bars and everything is all blue and yellow, which means I think I'm just kind of near like a kind of Boca Juniors area, which is super cool. I don't know if we can see over there. Can't zoom in much, you might not be able to see, but I can see Carlitos Tevez. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in here. Let's see if I can get a peek. It might be their training ground. Dude, there we go, look at this. Boca, Complejo Pedro Campillo. Oh, hola, ¿qué tal? So this is the stadium, home stadium of Boca Juniors. How cool is this? I didn't even look at the maps and see this. This is hectic. Seeing as we're here right now, we may as well just get things underway. Let's see how much an Argentina shirt is. I can see them selling them over here. I don't know, it looks a little bit more official. Maybe not. I also have no Argentinian currency because I only just got off the boat. So we may as well cross the road, see what's going on. Let's see how well they can scam me.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Where are you from?
Australia.
Sydney, nuevo.
Sydney.
Sydney.
27,000 pesos. That seems like more 23,000. Okay, 30,000 with names on. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much.
I ended up going into the restaurant and the shop of the man that was speaking to me on the street, and I'm sure glad I did.
Welcome, welcome. Conor, desde ya, bienvenido a mi país, a Argentina. Acá estás en el sur de Buenos Aires, estamos en la República de la Boca, ¿sí? Bienvenido de todo corazón, espero que tengas una grata experiencia y quiero que sepas, porque tú me preguntaste si el argentino es muy pasional. Yo te voy a contar una anécdota, ¿sí? Yo he visto, estando en la esquina, venir a una pareja, ¿sí? Y discutir porque él quería entrar y ella no. ¿Y sabe qué le dijo él? A mí no me importas, a mí me importa mi pasión, que es para toda la vida. Tú hoy estás y mañana no sé, pero mi pasión, que es Boca, va a estar hasta el día que me mueras. Con eso te contesto si me preguntas si es pasional o no. No le importa la pareja, solo importa el corazón, lo que uno siente, ¿sí? Porque es para toda la vida. Un equipo no cambia nunca, ¿entiendes? Es lo mismo que tú llevas tu apellido. No cambia nunca, desde niño hasta que mueres. La pasión es lo mismo. Gracias, Conor. Para mi amigo Conor acá, ¿sí? Para un campeón, otro campeón, ¿sí?
Gracias.
Conor, bienvenido, ¿eh? Espero que tengas una buena experiencia acá en mi país, ¿sí?
Muchas gracias.
Por favor.
Salud.
Salud. Muy bien. Empanadas argentinas, ¿sí? Hechas por mi compañera Patricia, que es 40.
¿Todos los mismos?
Todos los mismos, de
Okay.
carne, ¿sí?
Carne.
Y verdura. Carne
¿Sí?
y verdura, sí.
Okay.
Es lo mejor, la mejor empanada de Argentina.
Muchas gracias.
Por favor.
Muy rico.
Para mi amigo Conor, un regalo acá de la casa del 10, ¿sí? Un regalo para mi amigo, el mejor choripán con su salsa criolla, para ti. Este es un presente nuestro para ti, por tu visita.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Conor.
Muchas gracias. All right, he just bought me some choripan. So I don't know much about choripan, but this is it. It's a little bread roll, a little bit of sausage, and some things to put on it. This is empanada de Argentina. It's a lot smaller than the last few. Like, if we look at it in my hand, it's not that big, but they're just filled with a lot of flavor. They're super hot, super delicious. I don't even know how it's possible. I think if these were in Australia, I'd definitely eat this every single day. The pastry is also so thin compared to the last two that I had. It almost falls apart. Much easier eating, less dry. So I think these might be the reigning champion here. Now we've got choripan. All right, choripan time. This is my first choripan, I guess. Wait, did I have that last night? I actually can't remember if that was the same thing. But bread roll, sausage, a little bit of vegetables, kind of salad thing. So I'm gonna put that straight on. I don't know how I put that on. Let's just whack that on the end there and shove it in. Not a big sausage guy, but this is good. Delicious. I still can't get over the empanadas, but they've treated me so nice. He just gave me a magnet for the fridge. What a guy. I don't know if I'm allowed to rate this. I'm just going to rate it all a 10 out of 10. Muchísimas gracias.
No hace falta.
Fue muy rico.
It was them time to get a shirt. I really wanted this Maradona one because I love Maradona and the shirt looks great, but unfortunately they only had it in a small. So I ended up just getting a Messi shirt.
Cuando me vuelvas, podremos ir una partida de Boca.
Dale,
¿Sí?
seguro, cuando quieras.
¿Me pasas una bolsita, por favor?
Sí.
Muchísimas gracias.
Amigo, gracias.
Mucho gusto. I'm outside the front of the Boca Juniors Stadium with my Messi shirt, beautifully signed by my new friend back there. Wait, I should probably take the plastic off first. Perfect. There we go. Tell me I look like a tourist. I definitely don't.
Wait, I can see a little bit in there. I can see a little bit in there. There we go.
I'm gonna ask, hang on. Disculpa, señor. ¿Puedo una foto? Muchas gracias.
Aquí. Gracias. There it is. I can't get in anymore. He won't let me, but I'm very grateful regardless.
Gracias.
Damn it, he didn't let me go in. I thought he would. Anyway, you got a little bit of a peek in there. I'm fully kitted up now. I've got the Argentina Messi kit. I won't let my personal preference for any other player be known right now, but I'm here, so I'm going to make the most of it. I probably would have picked a Maradona shirt if they had one of the retro ones, but I'm still happy. He signed it for me and I'm super grateful for that. I'm going to put the location here. If you guys go and see him, tell them you came from me. I know probably not many of you going to Argentina soon. A lot of you watching probably are from Argentina, so you probably don't need a shirt, but go check him out anyway.
Dibu Martinez and Carlitos. Alright, from what I've seen so far, this kind of sums it up. Just about everything is both of them. They're both just as beloved, I think. Alrighty, so we are entering, is it El Caminito? You can see the kind of bright colors here, and then if I turn around up there, there's a lot more bright colors on these houses. I'm not sure exactly where the street starts, but I think it was in the 1950s. I guess it was just an area full of Italian immigrants, and there's a famous Argentine painter who I guess wanted to turn this area into like a bit of an open air museum, so that's what he did. Sorry if that's a little bit bright on your eyes. Like, yes, I guess like the idea was to bring kind of joy and a bit of life to a kind of poor neighborhood. And as you can see here, there's a lot of life going on. Obviously it's quite a touristy spot now. Fair bit of Messi in that, but this is it. Got a bit of a line for here. I'm gonna guess Messi was up there. I'm not sure. Now, one thing I've seemed to be noticing is like just how much kind of art is going on in the poor parts, in the rich parts. It doesn't really matter where. I'm in Palermo at the moment, which seems to be like the kind of bar, restaurant type of vibe. Very built up, really nice stores, all that kind of stuff. Even then, it's still just art in all the kind of street, on all the walls, things like that. And that's no different to even some of the poorer parts I've been to, but they seem like a very just expressive nation, I guess. And I kind of feel like that's something that kind of comes across also into the football, like just another way of expressing, you know, your love for your country, the things they've been through. And yeah, now I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna do next. Maybe go get something to eat. Alrighty, it's not the best weather at the moment, but we're gonna go in here. Looks like a mad tourist trap, but I guess there's only one way to find out, really. Alright, we're at La Parrilla de Raúl. They've got a bit of an asado going. I'm looking to get a mixed plate of meat, which has a lot of things on there that I've never really had before. But I'm willing to give them a try. El primero, parrillada. ¿Me das una parrilla para una persona?
Trae chorizo, chinchulín, riñón, pollo, pellito de cerdo y un pedacito de carne.
Sí.
¿Está bien? ¿Listo?
Sí, gracias. Alright, here we go. He's cooking it up. We got chicken. Let me zoom in on mine. It's probably a bit blurry, but that's fine. Here we go. My first asado. Here we go. It looks delicious. We've got chicken, we've got chorizo, we've got a bit of steak, and then there's two things I'm not sure what there is, but anyway, we'll give it a try. We've also got these to dip them in. We'll see how I go with that. Live here, we're live here. All right, I'm going to start with the chicken because I don't like chicken the most, so I want to get that out of the way just to taste it. All right, so I had the chicken. You know what? Chicken's chicken. We're going to try this next. This looks like a delicious piece of meat. Really nice piece of like fat to meat ratio. So that is delicious. I'm still chewing, but we're going to try the chorizo. Really good. It is beast. This thing is delicious. I think this is a bit of steak. I thought it was steak, but I don't think it is. Let's give it a try. It's a pretty strong taste, but nice. All right, now here we go. Look at this beast. This could be foreskin, I'm not sure. I guess I'm trying it anyway. Interesting flavour. That is an interesting flavour. Oh, that was delicious and I'm so full. Bring on the game. I don't know if you can hear the song. We're in the cab, take him into the game and land down under, and then it works on. That's hilarious. What are the chances on the way to watching Argentina play? I was literally 5 minutes in the Uber. The first song finished and then Land Down Under comes on. I tell him I'm Australian, tell him Argentina's my second team, but you know. This looks like the best fan fest I've seen so far, I must admit. This looks absolutely awesome. All right, we've just entered into the fan fest here. Wait, we haven't got the mic on.
Unfortunately, my mic was actually already on, so I ended up just muting this whole section here. I gave a bit of an introduction to the fan fest, but I doubt I said anything important. I got some glitter on my face, tried to look the part a little bit more, and that was about it.
Alright, we have some food trucks at least. I'm not really hungry yet after everything I've eaten today, but I'm sure that we will be back a little bit later. I have no doubt. It's approximately 30 minutes until kickoff, I'm not really too fussed with getting up the front or anything like that today. I'm just going to kind of enjoy it a little bit more from a distance. Seems to be a bit more family oriented. I think I've seen more kids in this than I have the last two countries combined. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It reminds me a lot more of like the fan fest we have in Australia. For the Women's World Cup that I went to, like all these different little booths around. You know, you've got the Coca-Cola tent here. You've got Fango, whatever this is. I should probably try score a goal in something, you know. All right, I've struggled with the accent, I'm not gonna lie, but I want to try score this goal here. All right. I didn't film. Alright, I failed miserably there. I took about 8 shots and didn't score a single one, and then missed. Muchas gracias. I took like 8 shots, did not get one, and then realised I didn't record, went for one more, and now I'm out. Anyway, let's go party. Seriously, if Argentina don't win this, I'm flying home. Here we go. Alright, no disrespect, but that was not very loud. Hey, family setting, I understand. I don't really care as long as we see a win. Definitely offside. 1-0. It was offside, it was offside. Finally moving a bit. Oh, that was it. Messi. Gracias, Lionel. Thank you. What a goal. What a goal. Keeper probably should have saved that, but I'm not complaining. Alrighty, there we go. Thank goodness we finally got a result. I definitely can't complain about seeing a Messi hat-trick. Bro just stands around up top and he just does the business. It's actually unbelievable. Alright, so that brings the end of the Argentina video. I had an absolute amazing time here. I want to give a special shout out to the guy feeding me all the free food where I bought the Messi shirt. He was actually the best, and it just shows how one person being kind can change how you perceive an entire country. Okay, anyway, for the review. Remember, this is straight off from what I've actually seen and witnessed on this. I know Argentina probably have the most passionate fans, but this is over what I saw on this date, at this specific time, at this place, so don't take it too seriously. First up is pretty much build up. Now, this is where I would kind of went to the place next to Boca, I got the food, I got a little bit of an insight in what it's like to be an Argentinian football fan and other things throughout the city. I knew the game was on, things were good, but because of that kind of first experience, I'm going to give that a straight 4 out of 5, which is probably a little bit high, but I'm giving it. Now, that brings us to the actual match experience. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest. There's a multitude of reasons for that, but long story short, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. There was no singing, there was no chanting. The most we got was a Messi, I don't know. Am I at an Inter Miami game? I'm not sure. I thought the place would have gone absolutely mental considering he got a hat trick, and I just didn't see that. Again, that's probably because I was at the wrong place, but nevertheless. That brings us to passion and emotion, which similarly to the last one, just wasn't that high. I was expecting so much more for where I was, the moment. You know, that could just be because there wasn't many stakes for the game. They're Argentina, they're expected to, you know, start caring at the final. But there was definitely an attitude of, it's just a, you know, group stage game, this doesn't matter. I don't know, people were pretty apathetic and yeah, they were happy to see their team win, and that was about it. So I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. That brings us to the last bit, which is cultural pride. And yes, cultural pride is off the charts there. I'm probably gonna have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. And that's because, you know, Messi, Maradona, it is the whole country's life, their persona, their everything. And they're so lucky to have 2 of the best footballers ever in history. And there's no doubt that they are. And I'm just so happy that I got to see that firsthand. So that puts them at 3rd place out of 3 teams, which is unfortunate for Argentina just because of what I've seen, but that means that on top of them is Uruguay, and then on top in 1st place still is Paraguay. Now, if you haven't seen those videos, I'll link it in the comments. Go watch them, you'll enjoy them, I promise. And if you want to subscribe to both my channels here, subscribe to them and you'll be able to see the next video, which is me heading to Ecuador. Vamos!